Hi, everyone. My name is Mary Pat Carrero. I'm a learning specialist. I've been working with parents and children with special needs for the last 40 years. As a special education teacher, a learning disabilities consultant, a diagnostician, and I've worked in family literacy. So I really have spent all my adult life working and supporting parents and children in reaching and functioning at their potential in life. So I'm creating a series of videos to support parents. This series is called Empowered Parents, Successful Kids. And so I'm offering a video today. Today is going to be on the topic of advocacy. All right, how you can best support your child and knowing some of the ins and outs of working with schools. Okay, I do have some slides to share with you for those of you who are more visual learners. And so you'll have an some extra input to follow along while I'm talking. And then also afterwards, it will be recorded so that you will have the opportunity, if you wanted to go back and take notes or jot down some ideas or whatever. Okay, so I'm going to start sharing that screen now. Let's see, here we go. Okay. So welcome to Parent as Advocate, and this is tips for an appropriate education for your child. Okay, now many of you know that your child by now that they're entitled to, by law, a free and appropriate public education. Okay, so we're going to be talking about that as we go along. Now, as human beings, not just in America, but all over the world, we've become very much consumer savvy. All right, we hire financial advisors, we have lawyers and accountants to work with different aspects of our lives that are important, and that we do not have all of the legal know-how and legal knowledge to deal with. Okay, so this is very common practice for all of us. However, there is one area of our lives, our most precious gifts, where we are failing to look at. How else? What other support do I really need? And that's with our children. Okay, especially if your child has special needs, learning needs. All right. You do need support. You don't always have all the answers or know all the ins and outs of the law. Okay? Like I said a few minutes ago, you expect that your child is receiving a free, appropriate public education, commonly called FAPE. All right, that's required by law. But again, for most of us, just like with lawyers and accountants, with all of those laws, we're not, the educational laws, we're not really savvy about that. That's not our forte. So our children can sometimes fall in the cracks. Your child may not be receiving the most appropriate academic program or related services or accommodations that they could be getting and should be getting, determined by their needs and provided by their educational plans, despite what the schools might be telling you. So most parents don't realize that they may need a professional advocate for their child. They'll go along with what the schools tell them. We don't really have any reason to not believe them, but we still need to know have information and know about the laws enough, because actually, in all reality, schools are a business. All right, so not knowing we don't always know what to do, and even especially if we're told something and it doesn't feel right. Okay, you really need to trust your gut. You may feel at times that you've been coerced or brainwashed by schools, authorities, and teachers. And this is not your fault. Again, We go in there with our children innocently expecting the schools to take good care of our kids. And for the most part, they do. But when it comes to some special needs, once children are showing that there are special needs, things can get a little dicey. All right. And there are absolutely federal laws in place that are there to support you your back and provide for your child so that they have the free and appropriate public education that they are entitled to. All right. Now, I know some of you may not have children with any learning needs right now, which is awesome. Okay. Some of you may be just starting to think that, well, something might be going on with my kid. Something's just not right this year. All right. Or you may have been in the system working with the schools for a number of years around making sure your child has the appropriate programs and accommodations, and that their IEP is up to code, up to what the law is required. And you folks know what a daunting task that can be. Okay. With the others, this is good information for you to have anyway, because you may have friends or relatives who may be, that this may be appropriate for. And we don't know that there may be some time down the road when your child may have, something occur where you need to have some good information about how to maneuver and work with the school systems. Okay, but this is most important. Don't ever feel coerced or brainwashed or intimidated. That's not what you're meant to, where you're meant to be. Okay, you pay property taxes. You are always a part of the team when it comes to your child's education. Okay, so don't ever let yourself feel coerced or intimidated. So I'm here today to give you some simple initial guidelines to follow. First of all, like I said earlier, if your child is just starting to struggle in school, if they've been struggling for a while and you're not getting the answers you want or need, and if your child is already receiving services. Now, here are some red flags or symptoms for learning problems. If your child has had a good teacher and is being taught well, if they're going to school regularly, their attendance has been good, they're doing their homework and studying, and especially if they've had support from you, which I know most parents do these days, they support their children, helping them with their homework, helping them with studying, doing their best to stay on top of things, that their child is doing what they're supposed to do. And so if all that is in place, and there are no stressors at home or in the schools, there's no bullying going on, it can be on the playground, on the bus, in the cafeteria. If there are no issues like that, and I have a whole series about resistance to school and a video which this last piece addresses, and you can go and look that up yourself. But if none of these pieces are in place and your child is struggling, then that's a red flag that there is a learning problem. That it points to issues as sensory, perceptual, cognitive processing of information. And none of these skills, which are always at the root of learning problems, maybe not all of them, but absolutely majority of them are, tutoring won't resolve them. Okay, even if your child is starting to show a lag in reading or comprehension or the math skills, the subject matter is never the issue. That's not where the problem lies. It's always in a few of these areas, and there's going to be a whole video series just on learning disabilities. Okay, so if you look at these areas, tutoring is not going to help those areas. So what do you need to do then? If you suspect something is starting to go on with your child or has been going on, and you just don't know where to go, first of all, talk to your child's teacher to get their feedback. What are they seeing in school? Are they seeing the same issues that you're seeing? Now, the important piece to remember here is that the school and the home environment, as you well know, is two very different environments. Okay, so your observations may be very different. The home is usually a little bit more laid back situation. Of course, it doesn't have all the stimulation, all the children, all of the, the what to do and the structure of a school. So your teacher's observations may be different from your observations. Neither is invalid. It's all important information, and your observations in particular need to be acknowledged because you know what's best. You know who your child is. You've lived with them longest. You've seen them in all different situations. So you know what is really best for you in terms of what's going on for your child. So have a conversation with your teacher. Set up an appointment, have a sit-down conversation with them, preferably face-to-face. If you need to, go and observe your child in class. Observe them in the cafeteria, on the playground. Or, find out from others what's going on the buses. You have a right to do all of this, okay? So, number 2, monitor your child's progress and problems closely. Keep a journal about it, day to day, week to week, whatever is possible. Jot down notes or questions that you have. Oh, this doesn't seem right. There's something going on here. I don't know what it's about. But the thing is, trust your gut. Don't let yourself be talked out of what you observe and what you know in your heart of hearts. Keep going forward to find the answers that suit what you know is right, and what you know is answers what's in your gut. You have the right by law. The law is called Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, IDEA. So by IDEA, your child is entitled to a comprehensive learning assessment, but you need to request it in writing. Okay, not your teacher, but you need to go to the whoever is the director of child study services, children's services in your school. You need to go to them and request an evaluation of your child be done. Okay, you're going to do it in writing, not by email. Address it to again, as I said, the school's child study services director. You want a comprehensive learning evaluation to be performed to determine if your child may have any learning disabilities. Now, I'm in the United States of America, so I know the laws in America. If you are seeing this and you live in England or Ireland or somewhere else in Europe or in Far East or anywhere else, I do not know what the laws are in your country and your area. Okay, I suggest strongly to get a good advocate, somebody who knows the educational laws and educational system where your child is. All right, or you can contact me and I can do my best to try to help you internationally. All right. So for those of you in America, this is the general process that you would go through. So by law, IDEA again, when you write that letter, they are required to respond to you in a given time frame, which is usually about 10 days. Okay, so if in 2 weeks you haven't heard back by a phone call, preferably, or an email, then you need to have another letter go out and a phone call. Okay, you want to create what's called a paper trail, having things in writing, not just by email and text. Okay, those can get lost, disregarded, eliminated. You have a copy of a letter that you have written, and you know that you have had it delivered to the schools. Okay, so you're taking care of yourself legally. Number 4. All right, so it gets into the right hands. If a meeting is set up to discuss your concerns, bring an advocate, okay, or at least another person with you. By an advocate, what I mean is somebody who knows the school system, knows how they do things, knows the law. All right. At best, that would be awesome. If you don't know somebody like that, at least bring another set of ears. A friend, your spouse, your sister, whoever, but bring another adult with you, because there could be a lot of legalese, a lot of terms, a lot of conversation that, just like, when you go to an accountant or to a lawyer, you don't necessarily know and understand all of the information. So the same thing is with the schools, with the laws and how they do things. So you want to have somebody there with you to take notes, to provide another set of ears later on. This is what I heard. Did you hear that too? Is that your understanding? Okay, so you have somebody very much on your side. Hopefully the schools are on your side too. Okay, but we're not going to be Pollyanna about this. We're going to take care of ourselves, be empowered, be proactive. Okay, so you want somebody with you. Because of the conversation, again, it may be overwhelming or confusing, or you may feel outnumbered. There can be a lot of people at these meetings, and that can be undaunting. So, next, number 5, you record all of these meetings with a phone, with a whatever kind of device you have that you can record with. It is very, very important, because even with that other set of ears, you might be afterwards thinking, yeah, I wasn't quite sure about that. So you have a recording to go back to re-listen to and take notes down and have questions about, so that you can then go forward with the next step. All right. You're going to inform the people in charge that you are going to do this. You're going to inform them with the letter. I will be attending the meeting. I will be attending with this person, whoever they may be, and that I will be recording it. Okay, so you're going to be upfront about it. It is absolutely legal for you to record meetings. Okay, if they don't want it, if they don't allow it, well, then there needs to be more conversation about that, because if they don't have anything to hide, there should be no problem with that. Okay, and of course you will honor, the confidentiality of the meeting. This is only for your purpose that you would be recording it, of course. Like it says here, it's perfectly legal, so you can review the information later on and come up with additional questions, which you may not at the time of the meeting. So, in conclusion, there is so much more to share with how to support your child in having a successful academic career. And it really is, because this will set them straight on the road for success in life, for becoming independent learners, which we all need to be successful in life. All right. We don't stop learning once we graduate from high school or college or graduate school. We are lifelong learners, and our children need to have all the skills in place to be lifelong learners and to be functioning at their potential, so that they can do absolutely what they choose to do in life and do it successfully. So this is just a small, beginning piece with what to do if you suspect your child may be having some difficulties in school, whether it's behavioral, academic, whatever. All right. So I hope this will help you to step out on your journey this year, mid-October. This is in the school year. And hopefully, your kids will have a successful school year. If you have any questions, concerns, please contact me. My name is Mary Pat Carrero. If you have questions, please send them to me. How can I support you? Let me know, how can I support you and your child? What questions do you have? Send me your questions by email at marypat@centerforlearningenhancement.com. or on my Facebook page, which is also Center for Learning Enhancement. I also have a Facebook page. My name, Mary Pat Correro, MaryPat Correro. All right, so tell me below what you think. Give me some comments. Tell me what you would like to have more videos about. What are your concerns? What are the questions keeping you up late at night about your child and your child's learning? All right, I'm here to support you. And I look forward to hearing from you soon. Again, drop some comments below. Let's start a conversation. All right. Have a great school year. Have a great holiday season coming up. And talk to you soon. Take care. Have a great day. Bye.